One.
Welcome to the Cream City Curveball, Cream City Media Group producer. I'm Justin from North Carolina.
I'm Jeff.
Chris King.
What a great day today, man. It's a holiday in the state of Wisconsin. We got Packers draft. We got Bucks in the playoffs. But we're here to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers and another opportunity. We just kind of dropped the ball. No pun intended. You got Bryce Terang out there at second base, the most sure-handed baseball player, I'd say. What is he? He's a platinum gold glove winner, right? Not gold, but platinum. Whole nother level higher, and he just completely misplays a ball from a backhand that could have kept us in that baseball game. I thought Freddie Peralta pitched amazing. He did his job. He gave up 2 runs, which isn't horrible, and he technically didn't really give them up. I know he did, but Nick Mears kind of did, but that's okay, though, because I don't even think Mears pitched bad. Thought the pitching staff was amazing. Then we get down to it. We're down 4-0. We get 2 runs, which Bryce kind of made up for his error. I feel like he got to 2 runs in a double, and if that ball didn't bounce over the fence, maybe we're talking about a 4-3 ball game with Bryce at third base, right? And then Jackson. And I know Jackson's young, and we're not going to criticize him to the death of it, but he struck out in a key opportunity. And then Yelich, as the living legend, Tim Allen calls him at sometimes, Mr. 4-3. Can't have a 4-3 ground out in that position. I thought we played well against the San Francisco Giants. We'd had a lot of mental errors, a lot of fundamental errors, and that's why we lost the ball game to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, lots of good points there. The thing with Churio, he keeps going down 0-2 in the count. He's swinging out of his shoes at the first pitch of every at-bat. Other pitchers know it. The book's out on him, man. You know, we were talking about it on the post-game show last night. I would prefer if one of the pitchers, like if Freddie came up to him and said, Jackson, listen, I see the game through a different eye. You up there at the plate, I'm on the mound. If I was trying to get you out, I'd be doing the same thing all these other pitchers are because of this, this, and this, and see if if that sinks in and he's able to move forward better than that. Defense, it's a weird situation to be in. It's now 2 out of 3 games. They booted the ball all over the freaking infield. That cost them big time. We're not used to seeing that. We've been relying on pitching and defense. But yes, the pitching last night was absolutely good enough to win. It was another game that should have probably gone in the win column that unfortunately didn't.
Yeah, and before that game yesterday, Jeff and I were talking about how they needed to – Freddie really needed to just trust the defense because we knew that the Giants had the ability to hit the crap out of the ball, hit the crap out of fastball. But he did that, and for it to not pay dividends, it just sucks. We still hit the ball well, and that's good, but it doesn't matter if you can't get those runs across. I just going scoreless for 8 innings straight. This is all you're always going to put yourself at a disadvantage because if they go 4 like they went 4 in the 6, it's just going to be tough to come back from that. But they had the opportunities. Guys throughout the middle of the lineup need to be better. It can't just be top Bryce Terang and then guys at the bottom of the lineup, pinch hitters and Bowers. Like it just can't be that. There's got to be some production there in the middle, and they didn't do that. So all in all, I'm not too disappointed down on this loss, but I think you had another missed opportunity by just you clean up the infield.
No, and those are all great points. I mean, as far as cleaning up the infield and the batting, at least we know those are fixable things that we can hopefully correct. And Chris, you're absolutely right, and so are you, Jeff. Missing that game, that can be the turn of this entire road trip. We know we go to St. Louis after this, and we go to the lowly AAA team of Chicago, the White Sox, right? So you got to get these wins against good baseball teams. I look for them to come out today, and I look for them to have a better performance. The one thing about Murphy's team is when they kind of get their butts kicked the day before or they play like idiots the day before, they come out like world beaters. So I'm looking for Toby Myers to get his first win of the season today. Looking for the Brewers to come out and have a great effort. And we got to beat these Giants. We got to go 2-2 in San Francisco. I know when we did our video a couple days ago, I was greedy. I'm always greedy, right? I wanted 4 wins. We said we'd be super ecstatic with 3, but you got to leave San Francisco with 2. I think that can set the tone for the rest of April and hopefully the rest of May and June as well.
Yeah, you got to walk out with a 2-piece nugget, man. 1 nugget ain't going to do it. And the bad thing is that like the Cubs are playing so good right now. And so even though the Brewers are holding water, they're starting to get their dudes back. Toby back today. And, which kind of makes me nervous because I don't think we're going to see great length out of him today. So we're going to be relying on our bullpen for a whole lot of this game here. So if he can give 4 innings, maybe just 1 run, something like that, just to get his feet wet back in the bigs, I'm cool with that. But the bullpen's got to come through. Jackson Chourio needs a day off. And so you might as well give it to him today so he can just sit there, chill out, put his feet up in the dugout and not do nothing, and then come back hopefully ready to start swinging a better stick when we get into St. Louis here. But yeah, it's a very big game this afternoon coming up, and hopefully the crew can come out on top.
Yeah, we know the dangers of the San Francisco Giants and what they can do to a bullpen, so it does make you a little nervous when you're in this dire situation where you're feeling like you need a win at this point, just to even up the series, and you might have to rely on the bullpen. But I've seen some good things from the bullpen. There's no real thing to make me not trust them right now at this point in this season. So I think they could do a good job, but it's just they've got to make sure they're not leaving fastballs down the middle where all these San Francisco Giants can crush them. So, the bullpen has to be good, and I'm looking forward to, this stretch of games. Guys will need rest because they're playing so many away games, but I think the Brewers will be ready for it. I think they'll come out with a win today, and then I think they'll head on to St. Louis.
Yeah, man. And like you mentioned earlier, Chris, we saw a great Yoho sighting. So I like the fact that he's continuing to grow and kind of piggybacking on Yoho, our newest guy up from the Nashville Sounds. And I think he's doing a good job of getting his feet wet in the majors. I want to spend a brief second before we end it, guys, on this minor league thing, because these Carolina Mudcats, first minor league baseball team with 13 wins, a lot of young talent down there. And then Mizorowski is really your Polish brother, Jeff. He's really throwing the ball well. Or excuse me, he's not thrower. He's pitching the ball well down there in Nashville. You got Daz Cameron knocking the cover off the ball. My guy, Ernesto Martinez. I remember he started a fight when he was a Mudcat with the Down East Wood Ducks. We got a lot of talent. These guys are playing some good baseball. You got guys down there in Double-A, Brock Wilkerson and those guys knocking the cover off the ball. Hedbert Perez in the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers playing great defense, throwing guys out. It's an exciting time to be a Brewers fan. I'm super excited. Just want to get your guys' thoughts before we wrap it on the young guys we got coming up and the young guys we currently have on this roster, like Yoho and other guys outside of Jackson Chourio that everybody knows.
Well, everybody that watches this is going to learn what a big fan of Nestor Martinez you are. You named 3 of your kids that. And so, that's pretty crystal clear here. But Mizorowski, man, the guy's been phenomenal. His problem is control. If he can keep them walks down, he's got the stuff to be up here in the bigs and be paying dividends this season, but he's got to get his control under wraps. If he can do that, he's going to come up and he's going to make one hell of a difference. But again, here we go. The starting rotation was absolutely decimated by injuries. We had some dudes that no one ever expected to get the returns that we have gotten so far. Tyler Alexander, there's a lot of guys that came up, that Logan Henderson, and just pitched really, really great. So we're going to have a hell of a lot of arms and not a lot of spaces. So it's going to be a very coveted spot in that rotation. But, it's good to see that the minors are rocking and rolling. But I'm here for the Polish rifle, man. Bring that boy up. As long as he ain't walking anybody, let's roll.
Yeah, it's good to have an embarrassment of riches like that. Like to have a lot of quality of starting pitching caliber guys that might be tiptoeing the line. But once you find that someone that is a starting caliber pitcher in the major leagues, you gotta bring them up. And I would say that the rest of the guys, I mean, you're just kind of looking to maybe if somebody, wants to make a deal or something, we'll do that too. That would be good. I do think we got to find some hitting at the shortstop, third base position too, a little bit. The inconsistencies there. So we'll see how, just kind of who's in the minor leagues and who might be able to help out with that.
No, all great points, man. This is Hey, this is your Brewers source. This is your pregame, your kickoff, just our thoughts from the Cream City Media Group. In Pat Murphy, we trust. And when you are done listening to the Brewers game or watching it, make sure you turn into the big three of Brewers baseball, the Brewers postgame show with the living legend Jeff Orlowski, Tim Allen, and HB4, my president of the Little Baby Fan Club. From the Cream City Media Group, from the Cream City Curveball, this has been our Brewers Curveball thing. I'm Justin from North Carolina.
And Jeff.
Chris King.
Go Crew.